Oh shit, there are people here. Hey, howdy and hello and welcome to The Crazy Train, the comedy podcast with no rails. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm joined by Blake Harmer.
Well, howdy, Pilgrim.
Oh, howdy. You're my rock, Blake. Never forget it. And Spike Direction.
Good to be back, Bob.
Hello, Spike Direction.
Hello.
You haven't been on in like 11 episodes.
11? Is it 11? I was going to say 10.
Which in Crazy Train terms is up to 4 years.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but
No.
I've come back and you've got like a multi-mic recording set up and
yeah.
a theme tune and
Yep.
artwork.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, I really... you've
Spared
become
no-
like a real thing in the time I've been away.
Yes.
I've
I've been away and you've learned to do your shit correctly.
Imagine my surprise.
Let's not go crazy.
Right there.
That's what we do. So if this is your first time hearing The Crazy Train and you're aboard for the first time, then what you're about to hear is basically just friends shooting the shit. There's no agenda. We come here with maybe a couple of conversation topics, but we just go where the conversation takes us. And if that sounds like your bag, then remain on board and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as we do, because we really fucking do.
And if it's not your bag, then you can...
Stick a spoon up your ass. Let me just check. I've just realised we've got some reviews to read.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, this is another thing that started happening a lot while you've been... Not because you've been away, while you've been away.
I mean, maybe because, who can say?
Oh, you know. Nobody's ever singled you out by name as like, fuck this guy
This
in
has
particular.
really improved since Spike stopped appearing regularly.
The death of Spike was the best thing to happen to The Crazy Train. All right.
The
So
weird
we've
Crazy
got-
Train DC universe.
Right, so I've done... No, there's loads.
Blimey, look at them all.
There's 4.
So many.
There's 4. Fucking hell.
What,
All right.
since we last recorded?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I know, right?
What's that? Will fillet Rob Wade for money. No?
Oh, yeah. 5 stars,
That's not
baby.
a review, that's a proposition.
Yeah, well, you know,
Well, he doesn't have to leave
5
the
stars
house.
is 5 stars. Do what
To
you
be
can.
fair, Rob doesn't have to leave the house. So.
Awkward boners aside. All right, so first one is from Pajaco. Now, this is number 1 superfan Paul. You know, number 1 superfan Paul, purveyor of theme tunes, maker of photoshops, and one of our favourite people. So he
Good lad.
has taken the time to write something really lovely. Trains, planes, and automobile. Well, trains, really. And well, not much about trains, if I'm honest. But the logo's a train, so that counts. Many times I've laughed out loud on a train or walking home, and it's not just written laugh out louds either, but proper people giving me a funny, is that guy a weirdo look laugh out louds. If you enjoy listening to people just chewing the fat about a good number of topics and without getting too preachy about any of it, and while having a good blooming good laugh whilst doing it, then this is a podcast for you. A podcast for you. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think that's only fair. There's probably others. P.S. Whatever happened to the trash wizard? As far as I know, he's dead.
We can hope.
It would not surprise me in the slightest. So thank you very much for that, Paul. Obviously, I mentioned this to you when you first submitted it, because obviously I get notified when these things come through. But I am truly, we are truly grateful for this. It is always humbling to read that somebody is so affected by our humble yet awesome podcast. Next, from THFR92, which is, I believe, from the Tom and Jack podcast, which is a British comedy outfit.
Right on.
Pair of guys, radio quality stuff. Excellent.
I need to write all these down. 'Cause
You should.
I'm a big... I know...
You're a big podcast guy at the moment.
I'm a big... Well, I've been for a few years, yeah.
Yeah.
I consume them at an industrial rate at the moment.
That is good times. When I'm lucky, when my work is well spaced out, I can binge 3 or 4 or 5 shows in a day. But most of the time, it's like I'll make 20 minutes of progress in this Joe Rogan podcast. If I'm lucky, it's like I remember what they talked about the day before.
The best thing is if you discover a new one and it's worth going right back to the beginning, binging the whole lot in one go.
Yes,
That
which
is
I
pretty
always
spectacular.
recommend doing with the Crazy Train, because
Oh, yes,
there are
yeah.
57. This is 57.
And we do love a callback, so a bit of revision is
We
kind of
do.
essential.
Yeah, that's only a good couple of days worth of listening.
We've
exactly.
already dropped the trash wizard and we're like 5 minutes
Yeah.
in. So.
Yeah, this is it. We've just moved on like he wasn't a thing. But he was for like 10 episodes.
That was
he kept turning up.
That was an epic. That was like the Freezer saga.
Yeah, he kept turning up. That was a weird thing.
Really, really disappointing.
Yeah,
What? So just like the Freezer saga.
yeah. All right, so THFR92 writes, Rob and friends throw around plenty of ideas, anecdotes and topics at lightning pace. Plenty of tangents and random chat as they often move away from the topics for the sake of humour. Definitely worth a download. You're bound to love it. Isn't that nice?
lovely.
Aw.
Yeah. So again, thank you very much, guys. I love your show as well. Like I said, it's radio quality production. It is nothing short of superb. I'll make a list for all
Can
of these
I
for
read
you.
this one?
Yeah.
I like. I've.
You like the
I think what
eloquence
they're
of it.
saying is nice, but the way they've written it, I just read it and I was a little worried.
So
What
this
is
is from Halden 365 Flicks. So this is from the 365 Flicks podcast, which is a film show. Again, great stuff. Can't really fault them on anything, really. So would you like to do the honours, Spike?
Well, they've said they cover it all, and I'm in already. I'm behind your bed. They didn't say that bit.
Downloading podcasts from inside the house.
I'm a little
Stop
worried
using
about
my
that
Wi-Fi.
one.
Yeah, you will insist on giving me the Wi-Fi password, yeah.
You're worried that the killer is using your wife.
Yeah.
I have a data cap, you insensitive bastard.
And he's coming and fucking torrenting a whole movie.
Exactly,
yeah.
And he's downloading his patches for his Xbox, the son of a bitch.
You don't pay my bills, don't pay my broadband bills.
I don't think you do, and I am with O2. So, the final review. So, the final review comes from Rich from the Film and TV podcast, another radio quality podcast. So much so, this one's actually on the radio.
Ooh.
And it's a Herwood radio, and it's great. Like I say, again, it's great stuff. Some of the depth they go into on films is. Again, I'll write this one down for you because you will love this.
That sounds good, actually.
I will give you a whole list. There's like 80 in this
Awesome.
in the Britpod scene collective, which we're now part of.
Oh, yeah.
So since last time.
That's another thing that's happened, that we've gone totally legit.
This is it. We're legit in so many ways, but I've still not betrayed my roots, yo. Because I'm still white as it comes. White as a snowdrift.
You are white.
Pure banter, pure genius, this one says. So pure, pure, no, there's no cutting involved. It's just uncut, pure genius. Rob and the guys are just downright hilarious. They go completely off the rails and on a lot of random tangents that somehow manage to end up back where they started. I don't remember that show.
Yeah.
I felt
End up where we started.
I felt like I was in the.
Doesn't that normally go, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit of an awkward segue, but we get there in the end. I felt like I was in the pub with my mates just talking cod shit. I'm not familiar with that term, but maybe it's a regional thing. Cod shit. Isn't that like roe? That's eggs, isn't it?
Just
Call of Duty shit?
Yeah, call it. Well, it's Battlefield's kind of better.
Yeah.
But also, to be fair,
More of a Titanfall man myself.
Bulletstorm will get the fuck out. I subscribed after 5 minutes.
Sam.
I
That's
subscribed.
about my level.
I really get on with that one. Too serious.
God, I love Doom.
I'll do. Yeah, all right, Doom and Wolfenstein.
Let's just all agree Doom and Wolfenstein. And
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
I'm good with
GTFO.
this. Thanks, Bethesda.
Bethesda.
I subscribed after 5 minutes. An absolute gem. This is a must for anyone who just loves banter and random chat. Brilliant. If I could give it more than 5 stars, I would.
Ooh.
But he doesn't want to.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but
Where's our
again,
6-star review?
thank you to Tom and Jack, to Paul, to Halden, 365 Flicks, and to Rich from the Film and TV show. Let's say it is humbling when these kind of reviews come through. It's just makes it all worthwhile, particularly on nights where it's tough, which we don't talk about anymore. So this is the first time we've got together in a little while.
Here
I've brought it up again.
Here it comes.
I brought it
Here
up
it
again.
comes.
I did it again. So we looked it up before. This is the first time the three of us have been together, just the three of us, for 11 episodes.
Yep.
It's
Last time I was on, it was
it's
just
a long
us
old,
three,
long old time. I think that was earlier on in the year, to be honest. It would have been. Of course, that's how time works. But this is not an episode of Rick and Morty, and thank God for that. We did. Oh yeah. So the other thing you missed was the pet peeve. Not the pet peeves episode. The
things you don't get. I saw the question.
Yes.
And because our boy Jim doesn't get Rick and Morty.
No.
I think he's only watched the first episode though.
Yeah.
That was my.
I say my one was.
I can understand.
My experience is the first episode and a couple of random clips where I was just like, "What the fuck is what?"
I think the thing is that if you don't get that huge chunks of it are improvised. And you just
that came
the
across.
First,
it seemed
but
like
if you just watch the first episode, I guess you guys talked about this.
We did a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but when you get further in, there's real. I still wouldn't blame anyone for not liking it because even when it's properly good, it's pretty near the knuckle a lot of the time. It could be an acquired taste.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, ultimately, it's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I still agree that I like the show. I just didn't like the whole fans around it. Really.
Yeah, well, that's with anything, isn't it?
The internet
believe
it is
even the best
overrated on the
things.
internet as well.
Since-
it is. Rick and
obviously,
Morty's up there with bacon.
Since the
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce.
Fuck's
Since
sake.
since last time we recorded, I think since that happened, since the episode we talked about it, the Szechuan sauce thing happened in the States where grown adults, in quotes, I'm doing the thing with my hands.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
Great on radio.
Yeah, I know, right? So many of these. So we're not a completely professional outfit because I still haven't learned what the difference is between audio and
You
video.
wouldn't believe how many so-called big shot podcasts do that shit.
I'm sure,
though.
yeah.
They all do it. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, it's like, dear person with 86 listeners, you are not fucking Rogan, okay? You're not recording every show. You're not live streaming everything. Give us a fucking break. Thank
Yep.
you. Bye-bye. Keep doing you. That's fine. So it seems only fair that we give you a chance to kind of weigh in on the things. Is there anything that you could think of that was like you wanted to, you know,
Oh, that I wanted to get
that you would
into,
have
but I
wanted to,
couldn't.
that you would have wanted to pitch into the mix when we were talking about it?
Metallica.
Okay.
I gave it a good college try, but I could just never get on with them.
I mean, that's fair
Like,
enough.
Beyond, there's one song of theirs I really like Wherever I May Roam.
Okay.
that
That's a
used
good
to
song.
be-
That's a good
yeah.
song.
Just the bit where the bass just goes bang.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I,
Spike is a music teacher. So-
It's the bit where it goes.
to me, I love them, but to me, they were a band that sort of got me into.
Everything.
Well,
Gateway.
yeah, they were sort of like, I got introduced to two bands that were sort of like my gateway other music.
Harder music.
This
Yeah.
might be my.
And it
problem.
was the two bands was Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and my brother played them to me because someone
Guns N'
lent
Roses
it.
are the other one. I think this my problem might
Granted,
be.
I'm not as into Guns N' Roses as I probably was when I was younger, and Metallica I still love, but
I think the bands that did the same job for me was Iron Maiden and AC/DC, and that was my
Okay.
at the time that everyone's getting into Metallica and Guns N' Roses. Those were my two, and then
No,
I
I
didn't
can
come back to the others until
I
much
can
later. and I didn't
understand
get
that
it.
some people might be more into Metallica or Iron Maiden and vice versa.
They're like the Beatles
Yeah.
and the Stones. I think you can only like one or the other, really. I know.
I
You're
can't
wearing
really,
an Iron Maiden t-shirt
I
right
can't
now,
really talk
so you
saying my love for
disprove that.
Metallica while wearing a Book of Souls t-shirt.
Yeah, you're disproving me right now, but it's sort of like that.
Yeah, it's got an element of that to
Yeah.
it.
I've seen Metallica live more than I've seen Maiden.
Yeah,
I've
we
only
didn't,
seen.
we didn't talk a lot about music in that episode, did we? A couple of bands got brought up, but generally it was more about TV and film.
Yeah, I
found.
think it was.
Didn't do video games. We need to. Maybe we should do a whole. I think we decided we'd do a whole
I
game
think
cast
a
about it
games
sometime.
cast for that
The
would
games
be a
cast
better
of
one.
games you can't get into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I think I've already mentioned that weirdly Mass Effect, and that's a series that's meant to be.
It's pretty heavy
loved.
going for the first one, especially. It's obviously this is not the podcast for that discussion, but at the same time, it's obviously you can do it quick. But it's just it's the first one. If you can't get into the first one,
Well, you're
it's-
knackered for the rest, aren't you?
yeah, which is annoying because the second one is arguably the best of the series.
You've got to get.
You have to get through either the first one or the Choose Your Own Adventure comic that takes you through all the choices.
taking.
Some
Good
people,
idea, that.
people did tell me if I don't like the first one, just drop it and do the second one.
Yeah, yeah.
I've not really. I even rebought them so I could try again, backwards compatible on
Yeah.
the Xbox.
Yeah.
But I just got. Yeah, I just never got myself around to it. I've tried to get into the first one twice, and I thought if it's not holding my interest to get out. I mean, I literally got onto the ship, the Normandy, and I lost interest afterwards.
I was playing because I'm. Famously, I'm like a video game troglodyte.
Fine.
But
Yeah.
I've only had a 360 for not that long,
That's pretty cool.
and I'm like playing
There's
my
so
way
many good
through.
games on
I'm
that,
playing
though.
my way through the best 360 games at
Yeah.
the moment. Going to CEX, picking them up for like £2.
Nice.
Playing through. So I just finished
Yeah.
Portal 2 like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's a great game.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that game.
I
Yeah.
love that, but I got
That game deserves more hype.
I got a
That's
set.
coming in a different episode. This isn't even the episode for either of these things.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'll just say quickly. I got Gears of War, all three of them,
Nice.
for like a £5.
Oh,
I just can't. I'm
good.
I'm really stuck on Gears of War 1. I just can't be asked.
Oh,
It's
really?
it's not grabbing me.
Oh, man.
And I'm wondering whether I should skip ahead. But then I think kind of is the plot kind of important with that game?
To a
so,
point.
So I could skip ahead then to a
Probably,
later
I think
one.
I think you
IGN
can-
did a catch-up video, didn't they?
I think you could probably follow too. I guess it.
It's partially, I think, that Gears because a lot of the later 360 games aren't that old, are they? There's like stuff like there was like crossover between the Xbox One for a lot of the later games. So I've got like Alien Isolation and
Yep.
GTA GTA 5 and stuff like that. Neither of those worked, and I took them back. But
Okay.
But I could have got them if I'd been lucky with the copy.
If it had only been for if I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for these non-functioning games.
But Gears of War 1 is like so old now. It looks it too.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's putting me off a bit.
On the Xbox One, they've given it sort of a
HD
remaster
Ultimate Edition, and that
looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. That was like the first game I ever bought for my Xbox 360 was Gears of War and Dead Rising. Yeah. And then I played nothing but Hexic HD for like 3 weeks. Because it was a really engaging puzzle game. I just get a bit...
Where of it? I don't think I really...
I bought... had Burnout Revenge. I remember when the 360 was brand new, we used to play around my mate Dan's house, and we played Halo 3 and we played Burnout for like about 12 hours each over a couple of weekends. But so I was like, when I saw Burnout at CX, I was like, yes, I'll get that. £12.
Oh yeah,
second-hand copy of Burnout Revenge. Like
some of them are ridiculous.
That was the worst one. I was like, this game is so old.
Yeah,
but it's to do with. I asked the guy. I was like, why is this one so expensive? And he's like, it's to do with how many copies there are, and there are really not that many of Burnout Revenge for some reason.
There's some.
Like, Burnout Paradise is everywhere.
Yep.
But Revenge, no. They can't
At one point, they had so many copies of Burnout Paradise, they would bundle it in with. Oh no, they printed loads of copies of it with Trivial Pursuit as a bundle. Because they used to do, you remember they used to do those controller packs that came with a controller and a double pack game?
Yeah.
And they did like Lego Indie and Kung Fu Panda, and they had. Oh man, there was another one that just escaped me. But one of the third one was Burnout Paradise and Trivial Pursuit.
Is this new or is this a CEX?
This was new. This was at the time. But then you used to be able to find in CEX. Burnout Paradise and Trivial Pursuit was like £3.
Yeah.
It was just stupid cheap.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, yeah.
I just say it unironically.
I think the last time
that's crazy.
The last time I bought a game with a like a third-party controller, I think it was would have been pre-game, so it would have been like Future Zone or Electronics Boutique.
Oh man, Future Zone with the fucking great like papercraft head.
Yeah. And it was a crappy third-party PS1 controller with Alien Trilogy.
Yeah. The controller was called a Joy device.
No, I just remember because it was like a PlayStation pad. It was like a PS1 pad. The grips on them were just a little bit short. They were a bit shorter than your own, but it wasn't obvious
so
looking at it.
But
it was just noticeable when you were holding it, going, "This feels wrong."
Yeah.
It's the uncanny valley, isn't it? It's slightly wrong.
Yeah, this is it. I used to have an N64 controller that was not the right. It wasn't the right shape, but it was actually really good.
Was it a banana?
No, no, but it wasn't far. It wasn't shape-wise. It wasn't far off. Actually, it was like it was kind of bigger on one side than the other. Like, and the D-pad and the stick were both on one.
My mental image right now is amazing.
The D-pad and the stick and the Z button were on the left-hand side, the big sort of long, thick one, and then over the right-hand side you had the other buttons. It was actually pretty cool. I can't. Annoyingly, I could look it up for you, but I can't remember.
Wasn't the whole point of the Z button was that it was a trigger, though?
Yeah, but it still worked because it was in one of your hands. Because it was, as long as it was underneath your index finger, it didn't really matter, and it was.
Oh, okay.
So it was like.
So it was still underneath.
Yeah. It's I mean, obviously, we could wax enthusiastic about Nintendo. I could do Nintendo 64 for fucking hours, but this doesn't feel like the show for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But how's everybody? So what's new in everybody's world? Because you've had extra time to come up with stuff.
Yeah.
Totally over it.
I'm enjoying being unemployed.
Oh.
Honestly, it's great.
I
would recommend it to anyone if it weren't for the crushing sense of guilt and shame. Because apart from that, it's brilliant.
You're not in the fun employment stage then.
No, I could. Well, I just it's like I get up every day. I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I just think, well, what am I going to do today? And I usually go on a long walk.
That's something. I mean, you got to make your time kind of serve you to a point. Like, because this, when I've been without work before, sometimes for long periods of time, and you do have to keep busy, because if you don't keep busy, you go
mental.
Insane. Yes,
it's not even that I go insane. I just sort of sink into a horrible fug.
Yeah,
where you sort of wrap up in your pit and don't do anything.
Yeah,
again, you've not done something for so long that to actually do something feels like horrible.
Yeah,
so you do less, and then you feel worse. And,
given that revelation, I'm really glad to have you here.
I'm really enjoying not having to do anything.
Great having you here. It's
it should be grateful.
Yes,
I am grateful.
You should be grateful.
Yeah. Every time somebody says something sad at the moment, for some reason, because I've just recently watched Rogue One, my brain defaults to the Ben Mendelsohn director credit. Oh, Oh, my condolences. But the problem is he obviously in the movie doesn't mean that.
No,
So not in the slightest. Especially when oh, here's Lyra back from the dead. Mendo. I have such a crush on him. It's unreal. I love a bit of Krennic.
Oh, he they've cast him as King George VI in that new movie about Winston Churchill.
I'm in. I don't. Is it the one with Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman, yeah.
I saw a publicity picture for that, and I was blown away. Much in the same way.
How much he doesn't look like Gary Oldman.
How much he doesn't look like Gary Oldman, and he is that actor. I saw it described on Reddit once, and I realised this is the best description I will ever see of Gary Oldman. He is the it's that guy actor, because when he on the sad day when he's no longer with us, it will be like Bowie, when everybody will talk about their favourite Gary Oldman movie and nobody will have the same answer twice, because he's just got such a wide, varied body of work.
Prolific.
We watched Leon the other day because Jen had never seen it.
He's so good in that.
He's so good in that.
Just when he
it's just basically like fists of ham. It's just all over the shop.
When he dies, he just sees the bomb and goes shit and just blows up.
Yeah,
so good.
It's like nearly 25 years old, that movie. So it's fine.
I must admit, I haven't seen Leon in years. I could go for watching it.
We watched it the other day because Jen had never seen it, and actually we watched the director's cut. There's about 20 minutes of extra stuff in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So this is obviously spoilers for the director's cut of Leon versus the DVD version.
You know
I guess
how I feel about spoilers.
Well, yeah. Even by your standards,
I think even then
25.
they've had good 25 years.
Yeah, they've had plenty of time.
They've had time.
Yeah. So there's like 20 minutes extra where Leon and Matilda go on jobs together, and she's actually helping him perform hits. I've never seen that before. There's a scene where they go out to celebrate and she gets drunk. There's the introduction to the creepiest thing in the screenplay, which is when she's talking about her first time being special, and he's like, "No, I'm not fucking you." Basically, he didn't say those exact words, but he's like, "I'm not having sex with you." But in the screenplay, I think in the screenplay or in like somewhere in the thing, there is a draft where they do stuff, and you're just like. I know there's a lot of stories about
it's a French movie, but it's not that French.
No. Well, they make him Italian in the film. Oh, yeah. Because it's like everything's Italian this, Italian that, Italian type, and it's like he's French. He's very obviously French.
He is clearly French.
Yeah.
I do like. I know it's not exactly, but I know that I like. I watched Nikita not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Jean Reno's in it, and he plays a cleaner in it.
Yeah.
But it's just not
as in a janitor or a hitman.
I know, like a hitman.
Like a crime scene cleaner. Yeah.
It's just like a janitor.
But it just made me smile that I just went. Yeah. It's probably from this film that they went. I like him. I'll use him again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like the idea that he was just a janitor, and then somebody's like, "Oh, this is from Matilda," and Luc Besson was like, "I'm having that line. That line will be reimagined for my masterpiece." And it is a good movie. We watched some really good films. Had my dad visiting last tail end of last week. So we watched really good films together. We watched Rogue One, which is
good choice.
I think if I watch it a couple more times, it might go into my top 2. Yeah, it's so good. I love that movie so much.
Rogue One does have a lot.
I actually think it's in my higher end of. Yeah. I must admit, I haven't reviewed my.
It's been a while.
My top Star Wars films, admittedly, but Rogue One is definitely in the higher end of them because I think
it's been a while since I've revisited my viewing order, my viewing preference. But here's a question, right? Actually, I had this thought recently while I was watching it. There's obviously everybody's got their own order in which they watch Star Wars. Some people do chronological, some people do production, some people do machete order. Yeah, where does Rogue One fit in a viewing order? Because it's pre-4, but then if you watch it in production order, then it comes last. Yeah, well, it can. The thing is, it can kind of sit anywhere before, and as long as
if you're going by, I tend to look at, I tend to do sort of like hyper extreme machete order and ignore the prequel entirely. But
blasphemy.
But I think
that's for you.
If you're going to do it with some, I don't know actually.
That's for us.
This whole the whole. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was too busy thinking about what I was trying to say.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy! If I can find a way to phonetically do that might be the episode title. Who knows? Blasphemy! I can't put swears in the titles. It's a pisser because last episode was going to be called Awkward Boners, and the one before that was Get to Fuck Island, and I can't do it. I was going to try and get round it, and then I realised that it would very obviously look I was trying to get round it because I was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, it looked like I was trying to get past the Apple thing because I am.
Oh well.
So, do they have a problem with the word boner then?
I'm guessing so. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? This is something I learned the other day. Facebook is really sensitive about advertising.
Oh yeah.
So
I've heard about
a
that,
couple of weeks ago, last time we did last time we did a Crazy Train, I tried to boost it on Facebook.
And it wouldn't let you.
It wouldn't let me. Why do you think that might be?
Did you? Let's see. It's gonna be something really stupid.
It is.
So you mentioned
spoilers.
So you used the word of a copyrighted product or something more stupider than that. Stupider than that. What do you think, Blake? Do you know?
He did tell me once, but I forgot. It slipped my mind.
There is.
Oh,
yeah.
I
So
remember you told me once, and I was going.
Once Aaron put in a review. I can't explain too much because it's kind of similar. So the answer is
put me out
in the show notes. Blake is at fuck's sake Blake.
Oh,
and
it's
they wouldn't
your
let me
Twitter
use the word fuck because it linked to text with the word fuck in it.
It's not even what you actually wrote. It's
nope,
it goes in and reads the link.
Nothing to do with the episode description. Nothing to do with
that's
the thing.
A word
because it was in the
word fuck.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. They could have read that and gone, "Oh, it's a."
Well, do they have a problem if you were at shiitake mushrooms? They'd get the same problem.
Yeah,
at Scunthorpe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. Granted, there is a swear word in there.
Yeah. Well, you'll show them when you unveil your new Twitter handle at Cunty McCunflaps. With 280 characters, that is only a matter of time.
It's the name of my boat, to be honest.
Yeah, Cunty McCunface.
Have you seen? I forget where it was now, like Durham or. Doncaster or somewhere council. Did you see this?
I did, but I can't remember the thing. So
they had a poll to name their new gritters. They have a fleet of gritters, and each one is named something like True Grit but they're better than that.
They're given like pop culture relevance or like joke
Gritty Mercury or like Britney Spears as one, stuff like that. And they had a poll today, and they had this vote off of all the different ones. I can't remember them all, but there was like Gritty Mercury. And I was like, but the ones that won were David Plowie and Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Anti-Slip Machiney.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I remembered that it was Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny, but I couldn't remember me what it was.
Well, it was Gritsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Anti-Slip Machiney.
That's
what it was.
That's so good.
It was one of you're talking about Paul talking about laughing out loud in front of strangers. I did that because I was reading this article while I was at I'd gone to the pharmacy and they were going to open again after lunch in 5 minutes. I'm waiting outside reading this article, and people are walking past. This is the Sunlight Centre in Gillingham, so people are walking past all the time, and I'm just like, just couldn't help it, and I'm really trying to keep them in because I know everyone's looking at me like I'm insane.
Yeah,
and so I'm just like that, trying not to laugh. Oh God, I don't know the last time you tried to contain a laugh, but it's the best / worst feeling.
I'm trying to remember the last time it happened because it was relatively recently. I think I was listening to a podcast or something, and it was just a really funny episode. Do you know what? It was when I was listening back to the last Crazy Train when Omer and Joe went off on one about fucking corgis.
Oh yeah.
And I was sitting there listening to it, and like Jen's going, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, because she thought it was like something on TV, because she tends to have the TV on and I've got my headphones on and do my editing. And she thought I was laughing at something on the TV. I was like, no, this is just really good. This is just really funny. It's just kind of, it's like you said, we're a proper outfit now.
The worst thing is then if you're trying not to laugh in fucking church
it's
with all these angry old people, it's like so bad trying to keep it all in.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
And you got to deal with the fact you're going to hell.
Yeah,
and there's all
exactly.
That,
it's
all that malarkey.
You're going to go to hell, and they just make you laugh more.
Yeah.
Because we were fucking all heathens.
Yeah. So
Didn't care.
So we watched Rogue One. This I don't know how we got onto this, but
it was a blasphemy.
Yeah, we watched Rogue One, and we watched Leon, which is awesome. We watched Doctor Strange, which I'd never seen before. Like that, it's a good movie.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, as I said, I liked the film, but I think I liked it for the sake that I really liked Doctor Strange rather than because I thought it was an original.
Well,
I did think it was one of the better origin stories that they've told.
It's like the epitome of what I say about Marvel now, that they're good, fun things to watch. They're literally the movie equivalent of comic books.
Yeah.
They're exactly what they should be.
Yeah.
You know, you just watch them and you go,
yeah.
And then you want to see the next one, but it's not high art at all.
No. Which is fine.
There were lovely bits in it. Like, I loved the bit where time's rewinding and they're fighting and the guy gets stuck in the wall.
That was
I
so
thought
cool.
that was such a good bit.
That was brilliant.
The bit where he first experiences all the interdimensional stuff, that he's like falling through the singularity and like breaking off into all little parts. Have you ever seen? Crowd showed it to me. The where somebody put that with the Goodbye Moon Men song from Rick and Morty.
No.
I have
to watch that one.
Yeah, it's like this Jermaine Clement as a cloud of gas takes Morty through like a similar experience, like a psychedelic trip where he's like brain splitting apart and whatever, to this song, and they put the song over Doctor Strange and it fit perfectly. It's so good.
Yeah, I think they did the similar thing with the Avengers Age of Ultron and Get Swifty.
Well, that would be the bit in the first Avengers where Iron Man arrives to his own soundtrack.
There you go. That works.
Show me what you got.
So we watched Doctor Strange and we were talking about, he's in Ragnarok.
He is.
Yeah, and I said, that's at the cinema. We can go see it if you want. Because we had, so basically what I've done is I've got loads of holiday that I haven't booked because I'm terrible at booking holiday. I need to be basically strong-armed into taking holiday. Because I just,
never have that problem.
Well,
no. I normally find stuff to do.
Yeah, it's fine. I find stuff to do. It's just a lot of it tends to be like odd couple of days here and there. It's like very rare that I take a straight week off.
Yeah, I agree. I'll normally
take massive amounts of gay weeks off.
I'll normally take lots of long weekends. Normally,
that sort of thing.
A week every now and then.
But I had loads of bits and pieces left over, and my dad said, I'm going to be over in because he lives in France most of the time. For those who aren't aware, I know you guys are. So he was coming over for a couple of days before my sister's birthday, which was over the weekend. Yeah. And I said, well, I've got a holiday to book. I'll book the days off. So me and him just spent Thursday and Friday just hanging out. And it was awesome. Cool. So Thursday we were watching Doctor Strange because we wandered into town and he bought it. We watched Civil War as well, which I really like. Captain America.
I think I was too excited for Civil War.
And it just didn't live up.
So yeah, and also it's two films really. It's like and I could enjoy one or another, but not both at once because there's such a tonal shift. There's like the serious Captain America espionage film that's very much in the vein of Winter Soldier, and then there's the airport fight, which is like a completely different movie.
Very silly, yeah.
It's very true. I do agree in that sense. I mean, I must admit I wasn't as overly hyped for it as you probably were. And
that's the thing. I was very excited.
I was looking forward to it, and I did enjoy it. But yeah, I do agree with you that it is an espionage film. But what makes the film for me is that fight scene. But I will agree, it is an excellent fight scene. But I agree. It's got you could have made the film without it, and it would have just been another Winter Soldier.
What I liked about the fight scene. I mean, I do agree. It does kind of it's a bit of a tonal shift. Yeah, it's a bit of a tonal shift from the rest of the film.
It's got more of a humour thing because they dropped Spider-Man and Giant Man.
What I really like about it is that nobody comes out of it looking weak because they're all just they're all just kind of one-upped in little bits and pieces here and there.
It's a really good fight. There's lots of good fights. Yeah, it is. And to be honest, they sold it as that was the big thing that was coming out. So you knew it was going to happen when you went to see the film. Yeah. For sure. And it did live up to the expectation. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I grant it is essentially a good 20-minute, half hour of a film that it didn't need to be in there at all, really. If you were telling the story, if you were to talk about the story, there's not one part of that happens in that, the War Machine.
It's literally Captain America wants to get to this place, Iron Man's trying to stop him. And that's the whole fight scene explained.
Yeah. So
and they bring mates.
The whole thing with War Machine.
And also we want to introduce Spider-Man for money.
Yeah. Hello, thank you for your money. Thank you.
We spent a lot for him.
Yeah, exactly. So then we were chatting about Doctor Strange: Civil War, and we realised that we were talking about how he was in Ragnarok. And I said, well, we've got the day off tomorrow. Let's go to the pictures. Yes. So we went to the cinema. I went for the first time since Wonder Woman. And my dad went for the first time since, I think, Rogue One.
Wow.
So it's nearly a year because obviously that's like December last year.
Right,
This
we
sort
go
of time
for.
last year.
Me and the wife have got unlimited cards, so we go for like.
I used to have one, but I just didn't really use it. I'll tell a lie.
We went through a period where we weren't using it, but we're back now.
We went to Wind River since then. I'll tell a lie. But then, to be honest, that was kind of forgettable, which is why I forgot.
It's literally forgettable.
Yeah. So we went over. It's one of those days where you know how you misjudge completely how much time you need to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So we ended up with like 3 hours to kill before the movie.
Oh, you did it the wrong way. You did it the opposite to the way me and the missus normally do it, which is have 1,000,001 things to do and maybe like an hour to do them.
Oh,
I could get that done in 5 minutes, and it's not whatever it is.
well, it was like he needed to get some stuff for work, so we went over to pick up the stuff for work and that was in like Gillingham. We went over to Raynham because he needed to drop some parcel off, and like those things took a couple of minutes each. It's like, so, I need to go over to the storage unit. Oh, okay, cool. We go there, look around for 5 minutes. I've seen everything I need to see
Desperately
here.
try and kill some time
Yeah.
in the storage unit.
Well, thankfully, yeah. It's like, just,
Yep, this is definitely a cube.
Stack some things up and recreate that Breaking Bad storage unit moment with it falling on the money.
I don't suppose we packed away a table tennis table. No, just the plastic owls. So, wonder where they got to. So we went over to the cinema and we were like, oh, well, let's get some lunch. So we went over like late morning and we had this thing called the Quadzilla.
What's that?
So it's one of those eating challenges. And,
where'd you go?
So this is the Water's Edge, the Hungry Horse.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I like these challenges mainly because the burgers there's a lot of food, but they're generally manageable.
Yep.
And they're much better value than the standard burger deal. It's like their usual burger thing is like $8.50 for a single or a double, and then it's like 4 for £11. Why would you not?
Yeah.
And thankfully it was buy one get one free that day, so actually we only paid for £11 for the pair, which is even nicer. But fuck me, we were full.
This episode is sponsored by Hungry Horse.
Yeah. Do you have much like the appetites we have for great content?
We are open to endorsement deals at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if anybody wants to get stuff endorsed, I'm pretty willing to compromise my principles for the almighty.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally get.
We're pretty much a whore for this.
Yeah.
We're basically the only podcast in the world that's not sponsored by either Audible or Blue Apron. So you know.
Or Squarespace.
Or Squarespace, yeah.
Yeah.
Stamps.com is the other one.
Stamps.com, yep.
Stamps.com.
Yep. What other ones are there? There's Stamps.com, Audible, and Squarespace are the ones I hear the most. MeUndies.
It's all stuff that you can't get over. Yeah, MeUndies. It's basically like a mail order underwear thing they do in America.
I don't know if I just listen to different shows, but like the one that sticks in my head is a gold company. The ones where you can invest in.
I've not heard that one.
Birch Gold, they're called.
Oh no, that's not one.
I don't know. This is not an advert. I don't know if they're any good.
No, who knows?
There's no way of knowing.
We're not endorsing them. We're dropping a name and don't know what the fuck
my investments are so minimal compared to the amount you'd have to put in to make gold worthwhile. Like, I mean, all of my workmates are on cryptocurrencies at the moment. They're all big on that because it's the big thing. They're getting really, really pricey. Like in terms of how much they're worth.
My friend was trying to get me to buy.
I'm really kicking myself.
Ethereum?
I didn't.
No, it was Electronium. I think it was.
That doesn't sound like some of them sound made up.
Well, they're all made
up.
But
what I mean is some of them sound like they're just.
I was trying to get him to explain it to me because I was going like
Bloody-bloodium.
But I was going like, I don't know why it's going so much money though, because I'm like going, so what do you buy with this stuff? And he couldn't really explain to me, apart from illegal shit. That's all.
That's the thing. Who accepts it? People, Silk Road,
few
whatever the equivalent is.
There's a couple of random places that are like, you can also pay in Bitcoin, but it's like on top of every other payment method imaginable.
As much as I've never had needed to use Bitcoin to buy anything, I do really wish I'd bought some when I first heard about it.
Oh yeah, everyone does.
I thought about it. I was like, I had the money, and I was like, should I do it? And I was like, nah. But if I'd done that, I would now be a millionaire.
Yep. This is the only thing that bugs me about it is like these. Now I'm in a position where I'm surrounded by techie people because of the job I do, and
they're all going on
about it. They're all looking for the next big coin. And like
that's the thing though, they're never going to be as successful as Bitcoin because there's too many things.
It's like Minecraft. The gold rush is over.
Yeah.
Like there's one big property that's going to make a killing, and then the others are going to basically do. Some of them might do okay, but then there's not going to be anything that hits the same heights because it just can't.
No, you have to just be the next big thing now. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, he did annoy me that he said, he said, oh, did you buy that Electronium? Because he said, if you did, it's now gone up if you put £10, it'll be about 200 quid. And I thought,
My friend at work. This is a 100% true story. He was looking at 300 quid's worth of coin of crypto. I don't know which one it was. One of the newer ones. 300 quid's worth.
Yep.
Had he bought them, which he got talked out of by one of his friends at the time,
Yes.
they would have flipped over the weekend for £60,000. Yeah, so he was a little miffed.
I mean,
yeah, this is the thing. It's just such a weird market at the moment. Like, but it's so much of a bubble because
it's totally a bubble.
you just can't.
It's not on it. It's not of anything.
It's not.
That's half the reason I didn't want to put any money into it because I was going.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I went. If I did, it would only be a tenner, and I didn't even do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
He went. We'll only put what you're prepared to lose, and I was like, yeah, true.
nothing.
Well, as I say,
Thank you.
I don't have money to give.
Yeah, I have some small scale investment stuff in the same way as I'd take 50 quid to a casino, be prepared to lose that. It works in the same way for me. That's the kind of way I look at it. It's just like it's gambling.
That's a bit different.
Gambling.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's gambling ultimately.
Yes.
But if you believe the internet, fucking
I would have been
everything's
happy because if I'd put that tenner in, it was 2 quid
Yeah.
and just left it at that, just running with it. But,
Yeah.
I just made a 400% return. I retire undefeated.
Yeah. I'll never gamble again.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Wolf of whatever your road's called.
Milton.
Yeah.
Wolf of Milton
Road.
Milton Road.
Alf, that sounds really pathetic.
Yeah.
That could be your. If we have to change your Twitter handle, that could be your new one.
Wolf of Milton.
Wolf of Milton.
Wolf Cub, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I have to if I'm now denying every E14 boost.
Yeah, you're stopping us ever boosting a post.
I wouldn't mind, but if I use that Twitter.
To be fair, I think I've read a couple of emails for updates of what's happening to Facebook in terms of how they do pages and boosting and stuff, and I don't see the point anymore. Every time they've got some new update, it's like, oh, it makes it much better for the users. It's like, yes, but you are telling people who supported your platform to do one. It's like, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, well,
and you'll have to double the length of the status.
It seems to be in vogue at the moment as well, because
changing stuff.
Yeah, well, and it's not just with Facebook. It's because you know John who does.
Yeah.
I forget. I think he's changed the name of his
Nerd
channel.
Hall.
Yeah, that's
Nerd
what
Hall.
it's
Yeah,
called.
John Bridden. Shout out, John, if you're listening. We love you.
It was quite very John. I think his Twitter's still that.
I think he's both. I think he still runs both. I think they're two different things.
Oh, are they?
I think so.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Nerd Hall has definitely taken more of his attention.
Because I only see them when he shares them on Facebook, and I look at them that way. So
I look at him as one of those properties who got away.
yeah, but
But that's because I just refuse to see him as a human. Still love you, John.
He was telling me that YouTube's basically killing. It's like because the same thing they keep jiggering about with all their
algorithms and stuff. Yeah,
and it's making
a lot of people
stuff.
are jumping to Twitch because
it's
of that.
making things a lot harder to get seen.
I
and
don't
they
have
sort
the
of change
for that.
But it's like, and people are trying to work with what they've decided they want the focus to be, and then they change it again. Like because for a long time they put the focus on to watch minutes, so that things with good watch minutes would get promoted more.
Yeah.
So people were doing long videos, and like if you watch the whole thing, if people watch the whole video, then they'd get promoted more or so. But they've changed that again now, and like people like. A lot of people saw their views just drop off a cliff like not that long ago. Yeah,
well, there's also this big thing about demonetizing as well.
Yeah,
like, that's the
thing that Sean was really complaining about.
This happened. Cool. Yeah, this happened to E14 actually.
Yeah,
like, we were obviously not creaming off a large volume of money from the YouTube channel, but they suddenly went, "Oh, you have to have 10,000 views." I was like, "Well, fuck off." Not even halfway there.
Yeah,
so
and
if anybody wants to fix that, youtube.com/c/emotionally14. Feel free.
And the content restriction for they won't let you monetize it again if there's any swears in there or whatever. And
Well, I mean, obviously, when the monetization application does get reviewed, they're probably just going to say no anyway. Yeah, it's like welcome to the E14 toy box. Fuck your mother.
But at the same time, it seems like a lot of it.
Either here or click, you cunt.
Oh shit! Not this fucker again.
Yeah. Not another Constantine, fuck's sake.
All right.
Yeah. Only pulled 13 of the bastards.
Yeah, typical. Now I stopped caring. Yeah, but also as well, I mean, this doesn't really affect E14 because our content is very it's not family friendly in tone, but it's very
we don't want money.
It's toys and shit. Toys and games and podcasts and shit.
Yeah.
There's obviously if you've got any if you've got any sort of political content that's right of Stalin, you're basically fucked.
I watch
hello, I'm a centrist.
Yeah. But then again, there must be lots of YouTubers that still make money despite language because I watch a lot of people like Fred Banger, Yogscast. They all have swearing in there.
Ones that are already established and kind of have...
They're okay.
They're being left alone.
Well, also, I think even if they're not being left alone as such, they're still... They just make so much money off it anyway. It's just like
streams.
Oh no, yeah, they've got advertising and sponsorship and things like that. It's like it's
one of those. They do promote things and all that sort.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
YouTube I can understand them wanting to try and clean house though, because like when you get into the dark recesses of YouTube, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
My nephews, they don't anymore for this reason, but their parents used to give them a tablet and they would go onto YouTube and just watch videos of shit.
Yeah,
like. Just to sort of amuse them, and what they really loved was videos of people like unboxing toys and opening the mystery eggs and seeing what toys were in there.
I'm hoping you sent them my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, kids.
That's the sort of thing.
You pricks.
That's the sort of thing they like. But from that,
you bastard.
But then there's all the suggested videos down one side, and they would, when they finish with one, they just click one of those at random. And doing that gradually by a process
all into the whole of
they
the
would
internet.
get into those pre-generated things that are just generated on a computer with all sound effects and no words, of just minions doing these weird things to each other, where they just sort of like it's hard to describe.
Minions molesting each other.
I've not seen it, but there's thousands of these videos that are just generated using simple CG versions of loads of different popular characters. It'll be like Elsa and a Minion and a Transformer and like whatever.
Yeah.
Doing a dance to some nursery rhyme, or just getting into this weird Windows Movie Maker pre-generated scene where they just all, like, one of them gets run over by a car and then buried. And I was like, honestly, I'll find there's an article which was written at great length about it, how all these algorithmically generated things trying to catch views from if the kids are into like a particular song, like what is it, Finger Family or something.
Sorry,
it's like no, there's
it's
a
Red
Daddy
Tube.
Finger.
Isn't that Red Tube?
Yeah, Daddy. It's like it's a nursery rhyme that kids watch loads of on YouTube. So there's loads of videos get made trying to catch
I've seen some really shit ones like Spider-Man, that bloody one that Romeo said.
Yeah, and they just put it in the title and make a really long video of just all this stuff just to get the clicks.
Yeah,
and no person has actually made it. It's just generated by a computer. There's thousands of them, and the kids are just watching them.
Yeah,
and there's nothing overtly
sinister
taboo about them because there's no swears, there's no gore, nothing like that. But they're just disturbing, and kids watching that for hours, I don't think it could be good for them.
No, I've got my kind of, I'm a little bit of a, what's the word? I'm a little bit of a fuddy-duddy about like kids spending too much time on YouTube, because I've seen,
it is quite easy to judge though, but when you because I don't want to no aspersions on their parents.
No. It's not to say that like
because we were we had them stay over ours, and it's just like, after a while it's like, fuck's sake, have this, be quiet for a minute.
Shut up, child.
Exactly.
Here is YouTube.
Exactly.
Here is your precious Markiplier or whatever the hell is who's popular. I don't even know.
They like Stampy Cat.
I've heard of Stampy Cat.
He's the one who plays Minecraft.
The other thing is that they do as well is like, obviously we can speak to this because we've all done it at some point. It's like they don't make it clear how much work goes into some of this stuff, like this content creation. Obviously, the stuff you're talking about, the algorithmic stuff, is no work whatsoever. It's all done by computers and like automation.
They sort of type in a few keywords and it generates something.
Yeah, but like if you're talking about like even a PewDiePie or something, right, where he's doing his streams and doing this talking over the top, and he's built up his following because he put every hour he spent playing the game is like 3 or 4 hours in edits because he's cutting together all this stuff.
Yeah,
but like my friend's kid, she's like 10, like 9, 10. She watches Stampy Cat videos and she loves them, and that's fine. And I'm sure Stampy Cat's very entertaining.
He's quite a good one.
She's looking at it going like, I want to do that. And it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? So I want to play games and like, put videos up. It's like, it's not that simple. It's not as simple as just...
I've only dabbled in it and I find it very hard.
Well, also, not for nothing, kid. You're 10 years old. You ain't done shit. Nobody's going to listen for more than a couple of minutes. I'm not trying to be harsh.
We helped...
He starts crying and then it's like this whole big thing.
Yeah.
We helped her...
Maybe Uncle Rob's a cunt.
Yeah, nieces, eh? Cool. Not my niece.
Yeah. We helped our nephews actually make a video because they wanted to for that reason. James, the elder one, he'd seen them... like a cake that was made to look like grass and dirt with worms growing out of it, and he had all the recipe. It was a video he'd seen, and we basically just made a copy of it. For
him. Sort of reproduced the same thing. Yeah,
he's like, because he really engaged it. He's like, I want to make a video. It's like, well, you can.
Yeah,
but it took fucking ages.
Yeah, that's true. It's because especially if you do like multi-camera and things like that, you have to pick the right ones. And
well, we didn't go that far. I just filmed it on my SLR. But
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just got an SLR finally, and then I realised that I bought a shotgun mic for it, and it doesn't have a socket.
Oh,
it's my own fault. I should have read the fucking instructions. It just said, "Has this got a mic socket for an external mic?" And it would have said no, and I would have gone, "Okay, I won't buy the shotgun mic."
It's funny. We've got a shotgun mic for ours.
Yeah,
it's actually not that much better than the built-in mic.
I don't imagine they are.
They're quite good now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more directional. I'd say that's the main thing. So you can just sort of select you want the subject's sound to come through.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Yeah, we went to see Thor.
Oh yeah, there was a question ages ago.
About Star Wars. I think it was because you were saying.
I was going to say something
Rogue One and viewing order.
What order should Rogue One?
Where should it go in your viewing order?
Right there.
I feel it's. I think it should go first, but then, but there's so many more movies coming out. I think the whole watch order thing is going to go out the window.
It kind of has to, doesn't it?
Because there's so many more. There's like another 10 years
movie and
there's like another 10 years of Star Wars movies coming.
Now.
New Ryan Johnson trilogy, which is they're obviously very impressed with what he's done for Last Jedi because they've given him a whole fucking trilogy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's done a good job for as far as they're concerned.
I have always quite liked Ryan Johnson though, ever since Brick.
I've only seen Looper of his, but I really liked it.
I mean, Looper's okay. You should see Brick. It's really interesting.
I've heard it's good. He likes Joseph Gordon-Levitt, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll be in the new trilogy.
To be honest,
he did Looper. He did Brick. He did
The Brothers Bloom, which I've not seen.
I heard it. I'm not familiar with that one.
Seen any of them?
No.
I'd like to see Looper because I've heard good things about it.
I'm looking forward to seeing Last Jedi. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Doing the midnight showing again.
I booked my tickets, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go yet.
Okay.
I went, I did this last year. I booked because I've got mine and the wife's and my sister-in-law's unlimited cards all on my account.
Yeah.
So if I see something I think we're going to want, I just book the tickets.
Yeah.
And ask them later.
Yeah. Fair enough. Especially if it's something like that where it's
exactly.
I mean, it took me, I think, 40 minutes to get onto the website to book the fucking things.
It was like a whole morning.
We
were coming back.
We didn't bother trying.
For The Force Awakens, I went to the midnight showing it, even though I was deathly ill and I ended up in hospital the next day. I still fucking went.
Yeah, we were in the same screening, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah.
I was like,
in the same room.
I could barely stand, but I got there.
What's weird was this was before that was before I started appearing on Talk Star Wars.
Yeah.
But one of the Talk Star Wars guys was in the same cinema, not in the same screening, but he was in the cinema watching it at the same time as us as well. Small world. And then when I met him, he was like, Mark. I was like, yeah. We used to work with Mark. This is Mark Cummins, obviously. Relatively, somewhat frequent Crazy Train appearance.
Yeah.
I'd like to get him back on if I can make it work. Yeah, if I can make it work, I'd like to get him back on because obviously, I like him. Everybody else seems to as well.
For getting him down.
He's right. Yeah, he's one of those. I like him.
When we worked together, I was.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time for him. Obviously, especially on recording if he ever. So, Mark, if you're listening,
we love you, Mark.
Miss you, bro. Get
come
on
back
that shit.
to us.
Yeah. Take the wig off and come back.
Keep the wig on if it makes you feel safe. Just leave the sword.
It's 2017.
It's
you
quite
do you.
Large.
Yeah.
Takes up a lot of room.
Please don't omniflash me.
2017. You do you.
No, I am impressed with his.
It's good. He's
especially. Do you see the thing he did of the progress from when he first did it?
Oh my god! Yeah,
recent...
with like the 70s pop band wig.
Yeah,
like that was
he looked like the singer from Sweet.
He's come along a lot.
He has.
Really, really
it's amazing.
Good.
And just looking at it, going, that's neat. That's neat.
Oh, it impresses the hell out of me. I could never do it myself, but I do admire some of the work that goes into it.
I used to. I mean, I don't really ever feel the need to do it at a con, just because I think the whole con thing is slightly not what I'm into.
I'm not a big con guy. No, I find them a bit overwhelming and a bit crowded.
But I do. I understand the appeal because I used to love dressing up when we worked at the cinema.
Yeah.
When we were all there, me, Rob, and Mark, and it was if ever there was a big film, we'd I would inevitably dress up for it, and for Halloween or whatever.
Oh man,
I did so many
your
costumes.
fucking Rorschach still to this day is one of the best I've seen.
I did Rorschach for Halloween several years before the Watchmen movie came out.
Yeah.
It was in production, I think. When
Yes,
I did
it was. Yeah,
And I had to spend so long explaining who I was.
Yeah.
To any, what are you? Because it looks vaguely Halloweeny when you see it. But if you don't know what it is, it's
what
what
was
is
funny
that?
about that party was there was a costume for best dressed, and
It got passed around to about 3 different people.
yeah, the person who ended up walking away with it was dressed as Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
But it was the kind of costume, the kind of quality Jimi Hendrix costume where I thought it was Prince.
It was he looked. Yeah, well, it was like some
Purple
people
Rain.
asked him if he was Prince.
All in my haze.
And some people thought he was. Well, he was zombie Jimi Hendrix.
That's
is what
it.
he was. But a lot of people thought he was Prince. And then somebody thought he was the old Robinson's Gollywog.
Well, to be fair, I think it was somebody who was
There
like,
was a highly racially dubious costume already at that, because a guy we also used to work with who has German ancestry.
That's right.
Came in his own uncle's Stasi uniform.
Yes.
Which is like,
Oh, shit.
and I mean
Yeah.
Stasi are East German secret police. For those who don't know, but it does really look like a Nazi uniform.
Basically,
like
yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And he just when he turned up in that without having told anyone what he was coming as.
that was the first time I ever dressed up as an adult for anything as
Yeah.
like a costume. I did.
Were you Garth?
Yeah, me and my friend, Welcome to the Motherfucking Family, Dean, went as Wayne and Garth because
Yeah, it was pretty good.
On the day, like I'd planned to go as Garth, and I said to him because he had long brown hair and had a similar sort of like a decent sort of likeness in the face, and I said, "Have you got a costume for tonight?" He said, "Fuck, is it costume? I'll wear a band t-shirt and a black cap, and I'll meet you there."
Cummins was there, wasn't he?
He was
Link.
He was no, that was New Year's.
Oh yeah, no,
He
when
was. Who was he for that?
I remember.
Shit.
I have to ask him.
Don't know. You know, I'm gonna have to.
There was some really good.
You know, now I'm
costumes.
gonna have to.
It
Look.
wasn't Cloud, was it?
No, it wasn't Cloud.
No,
This
it wasn't. This was
pre-
many years pre.
back in the days before the Cloud, Blake.
Yep.
Yeah, but when we had to back
really
our
like
photos
Sonic.
up on USB
He
sticks
did.
like a sucker.
He did a really good Clark Kent one
Yes.
time when Superman Returns came out. He was, or was it? Oh no, or was it The Dark Knight?
What's that?
It was some superhero movie,
Right.
and everybody was doing superheroes,
Mm.
and he was Clark Kent. So he was in the suit, but then his shirt was ripped open, and he had like one of those kids Superman chest pieces.
Oh, yeah.
So it just was the S showing through as his shirt was ripped open. I thought it was quite good. And then his roommate Tom was Batman, so he was working in just a full-on Batman outfit.
Mm.
I don't think I did that one. I can't remember.
No, I can't remember.
I
you know.
did some crazy ones.
I had a similar problem with like not being recognised what the hell I was.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago. But now a lot of people would know what it was I dressed as. But I mean, like very early on when my family was doing Halloween party, I went as Ryuk from Death Note. Obviously, a lot of people were just like.
Just found a picture of me and
I
Rob,
remember.
me and Spike
Yeah.
together as Garth and Rorschach. But
should put that in
there's
the
a
show
crossover.
notes.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
crossover I'd watch.
A lot of people thought I just looked like a homosexual kiss.
Which is a damning statement when you think
been
about
some,
it.
There's been some truly great costumes at your Halloween parties,
Mark.
your mum and
It
dad's
was like-
Halloween
I think he
parties.
went dressed as a gangster.
Oh yeah, he's just a gangster.
Yeah,
he
but
was,
he was
the Link one was
linked
at New
for
Year's that
Link
year.
for New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, that was some,
yeah,
that
no,
was
the
a
only other problem
debauched
was
That's a
party.
long time ago.
The
as well.
Ryuk costume was great, but unfortunately, it slowly started falling apart throughout the thing. So
Yep.
people were finding little bits of my costume all around the house.
So many of my costumes had to be designed for practicality because most of them I wore while I was at work
I
as
have
well.
I've had to go down the practicality route as I've got older. I found.
I didn't think about that when I went for Hellboy though, because you know
No, I remember that.
when you were the Count,
Yeah.
and you got your latex gloves. That's
yeah,
what I
Count.
should have done because I just painted my hands red.
Oh.
and left
Yeah.
red handprints.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
There was a
And
similar.
terrified children into the
Of course,
into the,
of course.
Like a kid came up to me and he wasn't really looking, and because I was stood just tearing people's tickets as Hellboy.
Yes.
This kid wasn't paying attention, and he got to about 2 feet away from me and just looked up and saw me and literally fled. He just sort of did. He did it was like he had the Roy Scheider moment in Jaws. You know, the reverse dolly zoom.
Yeah.
When the kid gets eaten, and he's like, whoop, like as he stared at me, his eyes went wide, his pupils dilated in front of me, and then he just ran. It was
One poem.
I felt so bad.
Ron, he's dead.
I'm Ron. Oh, that's a good callback.
I watched a show that Sean Bean doesn't die in so far. The Frankenstein
part that's not sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Frankenstein Chronicles. That was another thing. I had the first episode. Sometimes iTunes just gives away TV episodes to get you kind of into the rest of the show, so you then go and buy the rest. And it's like, fair enough. First taste is free and all that. And one of them was the Frankenstein Chronicles. And it started off quite intriguing, and I'm already at episode 2 and I'm bored because I realised that I don't have to buy it because it's on Now TV and I'm already subscribed, so that's nice. But it's a murder mystery set in Victorian England, and I thought, because it's Frankenstein Chronicles, I thought it was going to be about like the way it was explained was sort of almost like an alternate take on Frankenstein, the actual story.
Yeah.
But Mary Shelley's in it, and she's written a book. She's written the book already by this point. So it's like, what? Yeah.
Weird.
So I've watched 2 episodes, and I'm a little bit like, I'm not that bothered about carrying on. I may finish it off because it's only 6 to do the series, and I do like to keep a note of the series I get through and try and hit as many as I can in a year.
Yeah,
just not for I'm not competing with anything. I'm just for my own interest, just to see like, oh, I was way more into my games this year than last year.
Oh yeah,
or like, I was way more into games than films. That sort of thing. Been good on films this year. So saw about 3 or 4 new ones in the last couple of months. Pretty good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You guys seen any good films? Because you've seen Ragnarok, right?
I went to see Ragnarok. And then I think before Spider-Man, I think it was Alien. I don't go to the cinema very.
I went to see that with Joe.
I went through a long period of not seeing anything. Recently, we've just done loads. Paddington 2 is probably the one that really sticks in my mind. Fucking love Paddington 2.
The first one's fine. The first
one's
really
good.
good.
The first one.
The second one's better.
Okay.
It's an improvement.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved
it. Normally with children films, they normally do the first one's really good and the second one's
and they just don't bother.
Yeah.
But no, it's the same. They've kept the same director and the same style and everything. It's awesome.
Okay.
And
I have to give it a go. I like the first one.
We also saw recently Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
I've not heard of that one.
It's about Gloria Graham is her name. She was in It's a Wonderful Life. She won an Oscar even for Best Supporting Actress, but she ended up in the 60s and... Oh, no, not the 60s. It was in like 79, 81 it takes place. She ends up in Liverpool in theatre, and Jamie Bell was this like jobbing actor. Same like bedsit with her.
Yeah.
And they end up having an affair.
Okay.
So it's like... Annette Bening plays her.
Oh,
There's
nice.
a much older woman having an affair with this guy, and it's sort of how... Can't spoiler it anymore.
No.
It is honestly brilliant.
Okay.
When I knew what it was about, and I wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it's such a well put together film. When no matter what genre you like, if something's really well crafted, you can just appreciate it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's one of them, and I think it's probably Oscar material.
I was thinking
Certainly for Annette Bening.
I was thinking the other day about how much I like Annette Bening because it popped into my head. American Beauty popped into my head, and she's fucking phenomenal in that.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's a side to her that I've not seen before in this movie as well, because she plays this sort of. She's like really. She's got a chip on her shoulder. This woman about being an older woman who wants to be, sort of recapture her youth. Sort of acts in this kind of Marilyn Monroe kind of way, but she's like an older woman,
like cougarish,
but not with that sort of knowingness actually, or like she still acts kind of childlike.
But she doesn't realise she's attractive.
She's not putting it on. That's how she is.
Yeah,
and it,
okay.
It's and also it make the way everything. You might think that a woman dating a man who's younger than her, would be kind of a bit icky. Maybe you might, but the way the film portrays it, you can totally buy into the fact that they genuinely love each other and you really feel it.
Nice,
fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. Sounds interesting. I don't.
You ran out of steam already.
No, I don't know what else to say. Like on the subject of that film, it sounds interesting.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do a
But like I say, she popped into my head the other day because I was thinking about American Beauty because I've been thinking a lot about spacey movies, obviously with everything that's been going on,
and slowly turning into Christopher Plummer.
No, it's just one of those things. I
do love Christopher Plummer.
I've always been of the opinion that you have to distinguish. You have to make a distinction between the artist and the art because otherwise you can't enjoy a lot of stuff.
Roman Polanski movies.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
anything by EA.
A lot of metal music.
Yeah, a lot of metal music. Yeah, because you know some of them are actual Nazis.
Anything from Norway.
Yeah. And I say I'm not just talking like Nazis as in Right of Stalin. I'm talking
as
proper
literal Nazis.
Proper literal actual Nazis.
Good old Bertham.
Yeah, that's
it. You know, you have to be able to.
And by good old, I mean bad old Bertham.
horrible person.
Those good old bastards. But you have. No, I've always maintained that you have to, and obviously, with recently, I've had to take a look at that in a lot of ways.
You know what? I just kind of, rather than getting angry or on my high horse about any of this nonsense, I just want to get sad.
Yeah,
really disappointed.
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey was great in Baby Driver this year. Like fantastic, best thing I've seen him in a long time, and now it's just like
can't enjoy it as much. I know. I realise
Louis C.K. is the one that hurts me though.
That is
that hurts because I was really into his stuff and really like.
I can understand that because he's like he's become very much like he's like the Rick and Morty of comedians almost.
Yeah,
he was fucking everywhere
kind of
suddenly. Like everybody's talking about him as like the greatest of all time. It's like, I mean, he's good. I like him. But
I'll admit I've never really watched any of him.
I've seen him in like...
You never will now.
Well, no.
He'll never work again.
I imagine all his stuff on Netflix probably disappeared now.
No, the thing that...
They've recast him as Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer doing stand-up.
He's just looking really confused as like, I'm okay.
The thing that broke my heart was this week I listened to Mark Maron's podcast where he addressed it because he's quite close friends with him.
Right.
And he was talking about how he, he'd heard about it.
Yeah.
And he talked to Louis about it, and Louis had said it's all not true, and and he just believed his friend.
Yeah.
But now it's all come out, and he got so emotional when I was talking about it. That's the bit that broke my heart because it's not just that he's like done a shitty thing. Yeah. He's like let a lot of people down as well.
That's the thing is that you don't realise because obviously these sort of famous people you see in the papers and on the web and stuff every day. You forget that they have close friends and loved ones and stuff around them who are probably even, if you're cut up about it, it's 100 times worse for them because these are people they know intimately. I mean, obviously, in some cases more so than others, and fulfill my legal obligations there, allegedly. But, these are, like you said, Mark Maron's a big friend of Louis C.K., so for him it's 10 times worse, 100 times worse because this is a friend who's fucked up. And this is somebody you presumably wouldn't think that about, It's horrendous, and that's, to be honest, that's all I'm kind of happy to leave that subject there, to be honest, because it's one of those things. The Crazy Train has always felt to me like one of those things that is designed to take your mind off shit like that, rather than focus a really bright intensity beam on it. It's just one of those things I've always tried to unconsciously steer us away from.
I'm amazed by how many people's names are being if it's not true, they're being dragged through the mud.
Well, I joked about retiring George Takei impressions at the beginning because he's been one of the people maybe.
Well, I was surprised by him.
It's not stuck to him though.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Like if you say it sounds cynical, but I think if you say the right things on social media up until that point, people will give you a bit more rope, and it's annoying because it's almost like team sports. Because if he was a Republican, wouldn't get nearly the same amount of rope. No. Well, they would use it for something else.
But then it's.
So, but then
George Takei, at least he did say apologise. He just went, if I did, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like,
he was a bit like I don't remember, but if I did, that's not representative of my character, and apologise.
That's one of those phrases like. It's not representative of my character. It's like, so how did that happen then?
Yeah.
I'm not obviously I'm not trying to have a pop at George Takei exclusively.
Well, true, but I know it's a bit like, it
doesn't seem.
I'm not defending him either, but I'm just saying.
It seems out of sorts with his.
It seems out of sorts, but it's not how I picture him.
Never.
No.
I mean, we've never met, so,
No, I've been close to him because he was at the Chatham Central Theatre.
Wow.
Yeah, he was.
Oh no, was he in Aladdin or something?
Yeah, he was the Emperor of China.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Of all the names.
Yeah, he was the Emperor.
The anagram is worse.
He's the Emperor of China in Aladdin. Yeah.
Yeah, that Japanese.
I remember he came out and made a really bad joke and then just went, "This is as good as it gets. It doesn't get any better than this."
Yeah.
Oh my.
I remember that was a particularly good year in our area because we had George Takei in Aladdin.
Yep.
And
Vanilla Rice?
No. Canterbury had Adrian Edmondson.
Ah, yes.
Ooh,
and I
remember that year.
I remember I wish I'd gone to... It was almost like, I wish I'd gone to both. And then it was like, we've got tickets to the Chatham. And I was like, that'll have to do.
It's easy to forget, because we're in Kent, how sometimes you just miss really famous people coming in. Because I realised the other day, Rufus Wainwright was playing in Folkestone.
Oh, okay.
I missed it. And Aha are playing next year in Canterbury.
Oh, yeah, and I saw the article about that.
I texted Paul, and naturally I said, if we can, we kind of should, right? That's one of those things we're just doing.
Yeah.
Seize the chance.
Yeah, I do. I like me some Aha. Not nearly as much as Paul, but yeah, I like me some Aha. So I'll quite happily go and see that.
Kind of glad that I sort of swallowed my pride and went with my dad to see Status Quo when we did. Because I wasn't into that. Wilco Johnson was supporting who I love.
Okay.
And I wanted to see him, but my dad wanted to take me to see Status Quo when we were kids, and the show got cancelled. And so I was like, "Do you want to go to this one?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right." And I was willing to just. I nearly rolled right over that. I was.
Son, I can make an offer you can't refuse. Yeah. Whatever you want.
We'll ride on our paper plane and go see. Did that work? I don't know.
Daddy, I've been drawing pictures of Matchstick Men. These are getting tenuous, son.
Tenuous, yeah. But honestly, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And now, well, I mean, they're still touring, but I don't think it's quite the same because Rick Parfitt died now.
Yeah, it's a tougher sell, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's funny because they were
Like I've never seen AC/DC. I'm not sure if I could be bothered now.
I saw them at Download in 2010, and to be honest, it was like they just played the old AC/DC Live DVD on a big screen. It was the exact same set, and nothing different happened. And it had been like 20 years since they recorded that, and I'd seen it a lot. So I was actually quite underwhelmed when I finally got to see them.
Oh, okay.
Also, I was never going to be happy because Bon Scott was long dead.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's never a good.
Yeah,
If you,
I'm trying to think the most disappointing gig I've ever been to. I tell you what, I can tell you the most disappointing act I've ever seen, which was Ian Brown.
Oh yeah.
But I sat through that because the Main Street Preachers were afterwards, and I was happy with that. So that made up for it quite a bit. And like, to be fair, I've been pretty lucky. I've not seen that many support acts where I'm just like meh. Even
for me, to me, the most disappointing act I've seen, Mott the Hoople.
Really? Oh.
I saw them do their 40th anniversary, and to be honest, they should have done a 30th anniversary. Bits of it just felt very sad.
That is a weird,
that's a weird
backhanded compliment. It's like this should have been 10 years ago, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like Ian Hunter, brilliant. But he still constantly plays, and
he's up to it.
But I mean, like it was okay, and a lovely idea of ending the show.
Yeah,
and I did really, and I enjoyed quite a bit of it, but it just. Yeah, you just get that little tinge of disappointment. You feel like you're not getting
Shadow. Oh god, I'll tell you one. Now I didn't even enjoy it at all. Actually, was Glenn Matlock on his own. So for those who don't know, the original bassist of the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
But what he, and he was kind of touted as, it's Glenn Matlock, ex-Sex Pistols. It's kind of... And this was at a festival, so I didn't go just for this. I was there for the band after, but I was quite excited about this one. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, was
at Camden Rocks, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him playing one year, yeah.
And he did 2 years in a row, I think, but he was just playing all this sort of sub-Dylan folk for most of it. Which is which nobody there wanted to hear whatsoever.
No.
Like none of the people who turned out for him wanted any of that. He did Pretty Vacant at the end.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the one song that everybody was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Started singing along. Yeah. But it was cack. I'm sorry.
It's like the opposite.
Sorry, Glenn.
It's like the opposite of when the Eagles have the balls to open with Hotel California.
Yeah. By comparison, this year at Camden Rocks, I saw The Professionals, which is sort of the Sex Pistols splinter group that Steve Jones and Paul Cook formed.
Yeah.
There's only Paul Cook left of the original lineup, but they are fucking brilliant.
Okay.
They are like what the Pistols should have been if they got their act together.
Yeah.
And they only play Silly Thing, which is a Sex Pistols song. Everything else is their own, but they are so good. So if you like that kind of thing, I recommend The Professionals to anyone.
Professionals, nice.
Their new album they just put out this year is a belter. That's on my top 10 list. We were talking about that in the car.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Top 10 albums.
We do that sometime.
Yeah.
Be a whole
Well,
episode.
I might actually be able to do a top 10 list this year because normally I've only ever got 10 new albums in any one year.
Now
it's kind of a bit
plenty
hollow
to
make
from.
a top 10 out of that.
Yeah.
Because any old
I don't
shit
normally
ends
do
up
top
in
10
there.
things.
Number 10 is like, I heard this one too.
Exactly.
I think what I normally do is I think I do my my best of a particular thing. So I normally do best film, best TV series, best game or whatever, best album, and then I might do an
best on-screen orgy. It's a weird list.
Yeah, I might do an honourable.
I've got quite a few of those because I've been watching The Deuce on Sky Atlantic. There's tons.
I might do like honourable mentions or runners up. You know, like if there's a close call between. But then I might also do what I thought was the worst thing I'd come across in that.
They can be funny.
Yeah. Because sometimes, what the worst album I've heard, the worst film I've seen.
Maybe worth doing it like a weird kind of, like do a top 5 and then do the worst one at the bottom. It was like
and one to avoid.
Yeah.
I
didn't think if I had to do
my worst game of the year. I haven't actually technically played an awful game, but yeah, I actually think it's really cool at the moment.
Okay, it's not great.
But it feels a bit damning to name it worst game of the year.
Yeah, if it's just because of it's the worst
just
one
out of
you've
games
played.
I've played. Yeah, it's not actually. I didn't think it was awful.
Yeah, I had to struggle to think of like bad. Oh no, worst movie I can do really fucking easily. Breaking Dawn Part 2. What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit.
Year,
I could go off on one about this. In fact, you know what? We got time. Fuck it.
I've only done the first 2, and I'm amazed I did them.
We went away for our anniversary, me and Jen. So originally that was the plan where I was going to propose, but then I brought it forwards. This is the weekend I was mentioned. Do you remember the one I talked about?
You knew when you were going to pop a bonus. So.
Yeah, well, this is it. I was like, I only get one boner a year. I'm going to seek it up.
Pow.
And she's in the sea. Didn't even tell her to get in the sea, and there she is. Gonna find a way to work. Gonna find a way to work that bonus story into every episode from now on. Apparently,
golf ball.
Yeah, crazy. So we went for our anniversary. We went to Bath. It's a lovely place. If you've never been, I'd definitely recommend it. So we checked into our hotel, and it was quite. I mean, we travelled up from after work, so it was quite late. It was like sort of. It's gone 9 maybe.
Yeah.
So obviously we'd eaten on the way because we knew we weren't going to get there in time for dinner and stuff like that. So thrilling, I know. But we get to the hotel.
It's these details that really bring the story to life.
I think so. I think it just paints a tapestry, doesn't it?
Tableau.
I don't think you even paint a tapestry, do you? But then never mind.
You sew a tapestry.
Yeah. You ruin the tapestry by painting.
I need
totally. Fucking Wade is totally fucked my tapestry. Get in here.
That'd be a different version.
Who told you how to make a tapestry?
I regret nothing.
That'd be a completely different version of the film Brave, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you fucked my wee tapestry, you bastard.
You paid all over it.
You chin me.
The only way to stop it
chin
is
you
need to repair it. Well, we might as well bleach the fucker now.
Fuck it up.
Hey, man, I get to fuck with your fucking tapestry.
Yeah. Get to Tapestry Island.
I'll show you a tapestry, you wee bitch. Anyway. We get to the hotel, it's about 9 o'clock, and we're too late for dinner, but we get to the hotel room, we chill out, and we're just flipping through the TV channels. And she was like, oh, Breaking Dawn Part 2. I've seen Part 1. I haven't seen Part 2. And I was like, well, I've got my Nintendo Switch with me. You go ahead.
I like the way you have a high boding of this.
Yeah, well, I was just like, you put on whatever you want. I'm just going to play Zelda because, that was the done thing until
I've got these knives with me. I'm just going to claw my own eyes out. Anything, honestly, will be more entertaining.
Yeah. So I decided...
I might suffocate myself with this pillow.
I was already off to a bad start.
Just to drink this paint thinner.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I
don't want to remember anything.
Well, now they won't be able to fix their tapestry.
Yeah. I think I'll fuck this tapestry.
So it was already... So the whole experience was off to a bad start because about 5 minutes into the film, Jen said, can you go and get some snacks from downstairs? And I said, yeah, no problem. So I go downstairs thinking... Because I've seen on the way in, I've seen an ice cream machine that you can pay by contactless on. All the machines are like that. They are not. Nope. I had no cash, so I had to go next door in the pissing rain. Now, bear in mind, I'm not wearing a coat or anything. I'm just in a t-shirt and jeans. So I walked around into the little cinema complex next door in the pissing rain and withdraw some cash, come back, and got some change, I think, from the bloke at the desk. I can't remember how I did it. Oh, no, I do remember now. I didn't get change. So I went up, tried to put my note in the machine. Too big. Won't accept it. But it's a normal size note.
Well, those jumbo twins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was one of the novelty checks you get from winning the lottery. On the advert, it's just I won the health lottery. So, I'm not got anything less than trivial. So I put to try and put my £10 note. It's not having any of it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll try the other machine and see if that yields results. So I put my £10 in, and it's like, oh, that's fine. What do you want? So I make my selection. It drops out, and I was like, oh, you know what? I've just one bag of crisps. I'll get 2. So Jen can have one, and I'll have one. The second one gets stuck.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So
this story already has higher stakes than Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Exactly. And this is all real, so there's that too. So I had
vampire attack.
So then I had to go and get the bloke, and the bloke, like, going to get the help with the bloke or the woman on the reception in a Premier Inn is always a bit weird.
Yeah.
When it's something trivial like crisps won't come out.
The thing is with the people on the desk at Premier Inn, their only job seems to be going, you can actually save 10% if you book online.
Yeah.
And then sit there while you stand in the lobby and book.
Yeah.
And then just give you a key.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's appeared.
Or it's
Here you
like,
go. Bye. And that's their job.
Do you want breakfast? Do you want dinner and breakfast?
Oh.
You want dinner? Like, well, I couldn't have predicted you were going to offer me that based on the conversation we just had. Fuck me. I'm amazed.
Do you want dinner at breakfast time?
Yeah.
Like,
Would you like all-you-can-eat dinner?
Do you want dinner? There's a vending machine that doesn't work out back.
So he walks out, and I'm like, so I was like, I wonder what he's going to do. Probably got a key, maybe they got a key or something, and he just shakes the machine. It just drops. He's like, that'll do it, and walks off. I was like, I could have done that.
Job done.
But I felt bad because it's not mine.
You might have set the alarm off or something.
Yeah.
you needed a fucking professional
Apparently
to shake that
so.
machine.
Apparently so.
My only job is to shake this
Yeah.
machine.
I am Billy the Shaker. So I get back up to the room, and so I've been gone for like 20 minutes at this point. It's just like, he went downstairs. I hope he's okay. Yeah. So I come back upstairs. She's like, where the fuck have you been? I was like, I explained briefly, but
Shaggy dog story.
yeah, exactly. So we sat down, and I'm watching the film, and I'm sort of playing the Switch, but then the film is kind of drawing me in as distractions are one to do, and it's awful.
You just stopped and went, I can't believe that somebody signed off on this
Somebody
CG.
paid for this film. Like, there's a budget for this that's probably more than most, like, 5 different films that are better.
With the baby and the birth in
CG
that film
baby.
or part 1.
Why did they have a CG baby?
Yeah, it gets
Can't
better.
they afford a real baby?
But it gets better.
It's like
Only
it's
a real baby would be
It's
cheaper.
basically like Peter Cushing in Rogue One. They
it's a
overlaid
real
CG
baby,
on top of a real baby.
with a CG face. Because the baby
Peter
is...
Cushing's face is creepy as shit.
What is it? The
On a
baby's
baby.
like self-aware from the moment it's born.
Yes.
And it's like it develops a really fast rate and has high intelligence.
Even the
So
kid-
the baby's like supposed to be alert from the moment it comes out of her chuff. And that's what they CG it so that it's like
It's
looking
even
around.
if you look at the screenplay, it's
in.
in there.
Yeah.
Chuff.
From the moment it leaves Chuff.
But actually, no, it doesn't come through.
I think that's a
It
paragraph.
doesn't actually go through her chuff. It has a sort of fang-based
Oh yeah,
C-section,
that's
doesn't
right.
it?
Yeah, I was hoping it would just
Fuck's sake,
bamf.
this movie.
I was hoping it would just bamf like Nightcrawler. Just like,
batshit crazy
I'm child.
movie.
Yeah, and then it gets better because they don't just CG the baby; they CG the young girl all the way up through her life.
Oh,
as
she
well.
grows up into and they just keep doing it.
So basically, they take a normal, I don't know, 6-year-old girl and age her face youthful because she's like 2, even though she's like 4'6" or something stupid.
Oh, so weird.
It's so bad, and then the whole movie is like, spoilers for Breaking Dawn Part 2. But to be honest, I'm doing you a favour because it saves you watching the fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's all. There's a bit at the end where they have a face-off in the middle of a field. No, well, it's a big ice thing. I don't know if it's a field.
yeah.
Like
Is it
a frozen
vampires
field.
versus werewolves?
Vampires,
It's like
vampires versus other vampires because there's like a
Yeah, I remember they
family
were like a
warfare
bad
thing.
family or something.
The only saving grace it has is earlier on in the film when Dakota Fanning just throws a kid onto a fire because we've all thought about it. Anyway,
to be honest, I thought about throwing Dakota Fanning on a fire.
I've got a couple of
There's a moment.
frames from a printer, from a 35mm printer that.
yeah, is it the
I
bits
think
from the
that-
fire? Because
No,
Christmas is coming
it's,
up.
It's actually from part 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she's one of like the
Because it's
high
like
bloods, isn't she?
Yeah.
it's Robert Pattinson's face with his fangs out, covered in blood, because he's just extracted the baby.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to take out the cement joints. It's like because when I was a projectionist. you had
Yeah.
to- Every so often there'd be a bit where they'd broken the print by accident and glued it back together, and we always had to cut the glue ones out because they fucked the projection.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They messed up the gate, so we always had to cut those out. So I've got like a cement joint of it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's now the worst thing you have to deal with in a projection booth is like the screen flashes up with "Please download Real Player 7."
Yeah.
You do not have the codec for Star Wars Episode 8.
They've moved on to VLC now, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. In which case, I won't get multi-channel audio as we were discussing before the show.
I'll tell you, I've not been to the cinema ever since I left, and had the problem which we used to deal with all the time when they first went. having to restart the projector,
Yeah.
which takes about 10 minutes for the server to reboot. That never happens now, so they must have sorted it all.
Guess so.
It's not a
Yeah,
problem
maybe they've
anymore.
improved the networking or
Well,
something.
that makes me sad because
Who
I used
knows?
to have a job and now I don't because of that fucking computer.
Anyway, so we're watching this. So I'm watching this film. I say we. I'm watching this film, and I'm
Can't
fucking.
go to sleep.
I'm fucking irate at this point, and I'm just like, at least Jen. As long as Jen enjoys, she's fucking asleep. She dozed off probably half an hour in.
This bullshit movie.
So basically,
just
this
playing.
bullshit movie was on for like nearly an hour and a half because
Mind
I
you, you
didn't
stopped playing
notice she was
Zelda
asleep.
for it as well.
I know, and it's so good, like Breath of the Wild.
Well, it's an amazing game.
Yeah. And what did I do for this toss? Really? It's like, but yeah. And like I say, I woke her up. I was so annoyed. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I
Going
woke
to
her up. I
wake
was just
you up.
like,
You were
you
going
fell
to
asleep.
watch it.
You fucking watch this shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it back to the beginning and you're going to fucking watch it.
It's like, yeah,
I'm
where's the
not-
+1?
Who built in TiVo on this bloody
Yeah.
TV?
Yeah, so I was a little miffed, to say the least. But yeah, it was certainly a thing I saw.
I remember them
One of the worst
saying.
films I've ever
I
seen in
remember
my
the
life.
first film
And
having
I've seen
quite a
some
low
shash.
budget because they knew it wasn't going. They didn't think it would be.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I must admit, I got shown it because Cat's sister was a lot younger than
Yeah.
was going through the Twilight phase and wanted me to go see New Moon. So I was
That
like,
is
well,
fair
I suppose I should see the first one before I see the second one.
That is
Oh
who
my
it is
God,
for.
New Moon.
That is fair enough.
And
I still have
Twilight-
PTSD about New Moon.
Twilight, the first film, I thought, oh, it's okay. It's not my cup of tea, but it's a film I reckon I could sit through.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I went to see the second one, and God, it was.
Oh,
The
They're so
CG wolves were atrocious.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind, but they said like, "Oh, we put all this money, more money into the budget." And I was like, "Where's
where
the money
did it
gone?"
go?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
My
Who can
my
tell?
question is, if I could ask a movie director any question, I would ask the director of the Twilight movies, did you not think to get anybody involved in the project who'd seen a wolf?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like
they look-
anybody. They
No,
just
they're
it
terrible.
just
They're
seemed like
bears
something
with
they
dog faces.
just yeah.
And
It just seemed like wolves were something they'd heard of.
The CG was also.
They'd heard them described.
Yeah.
Also, considering the money, they should have amazing CG. Okay, yeah, they're going to be digital wolves.
They were
but-
still fairly cheaply
but
made.
they,
Those
they were
movies.
they're very. There was no real
they tell-
shading
if-
on them or anything like that.
If they were telling you
terrible.
they poured more money into it, they were just lying because those movies were made on the cheap.
And they look like lions.
Because they knew that
I
they
remember
knew that
going
the
to
fans
see
would
that
come watch it
on.
whatever.
It was like the opening night. I remember. I think that was why it particularly scarred me because
Yeah.
it was lots of basically prepubescent teens.
It was
A lot of girls going like, "Oh, I just need to go grab something from the cart." Girls was like, "Don't you dare do this! I've been waiting all my life for this moment to watch this film."
Ugh.
Like, I was just sitting there going,
You're 11
"Fuck's sake."
years old.
Yeah, I thought it was like I was just going, "Fuck's sake!"
I was
And when it was on,
traumatised
when it
by that.
started, the moment like Robert Pattinson and whatever his name,
Did they sigh or scream?
they screamed.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I was just like,
Have you seen?
terrible film.
Have you seen that bit of the new Pokemon movie? Someone filmed a bit
Oh
in the
yeah,
cinema.
they're all reacting with that.
Have you
weren't
seen that,
they?
Rob?
No, I haven't. No.
There's in the new Pokemon movie, the Pikachu speaks at one point.
Oh, I've heard
He
about it.
speaks
Yeah.
a sentence in English, in human, in human language. And someone filmed it inside a cinema in America.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like a load of Pokemon fans watching it all at once. I think because the
They're
moment,
all obviously about
the
our
moment,
age.
the moment, yeah. But
There's
the
no children in that theatre.
the moment Pikachu starts to speak, the entire audience goes, "What the fuck is that?"
They're like,
no, like that.
And
Because it is super weird. I sent it to my
it is
sister.
odd.
Yeah.
My sister's the big Pokemon fan. I took her to see the first movie,
Yeah.
because my parents were like, "I'm not going to see that fucking shit," so I had to take her.
I'll go and see that fucking shit.
I sent it to
It
her.
was
and
fucking shit.
Yeah.
She just commented with just "Nope," all in capitals.
And much in the same way as when we opened the episode talking about Szechuan sauce, we've come back around to some people just being cunts.
Oh yes.
If it's a room, whether it's a cinema full of Pikachu fans who refuse
I
the
was,
idea
I
that
was
he was
on their side.
No,
I very much agree with them.
it's one thing to be on their side. It's quite another thing to audibly yell in the middle of a theatre, "No!"
They do that in America, though.
Yeah.
If you watch a film in America,
know.
people like really react to things audibly.
Yeah.
You have to,
Well, these
you have
are
to
the people-
admire
I
their
don't-
investment emotionally.
Well, these are if adverts are to be believed, these are the same people that faint in movies when
Yeah,
watching
true.
horror movies. movies.
Our manager at the cinema, she used to go to America a lot, or
Oh, yeah,
travel
yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place. But she telling me she watched a film in America, and she was sitting next to this like very large lady who when
In America?
yeah, but
Wow.
when I forget what she said she was watching, but basically someone got hit really hard and wounded in this movie, and the woman just went, "Oh snap!" just like, out loud. And it's like that's just standard
That's
in American
amazing.
cinema.
Yeah, so it's that old.
He had it coming.
It's that old trope. Don't go in there, girl.
Yeah, that's what I think. I was thinking of a scary movie.
Yeah. Just this movie's good. She just pulls the fucking camcorder out from under, just slowly raises it up. Oh, that's a fun movie. Anyway, I think it's we've been talking for a good amount of time. I think
We've
it's
rambled for
that's fine. That's what people sign up for. So if you haven't already,
Knew what you were coming in
so
for.
if you didn't know what you were coming for up until now, but you liked the cut of our jib, then you
We're
can
in your
subscribe.
house.
Yeah, the call's coming from inside your phone. That's where calls always come from.
Yeah. It's
What?
coming. The podcast is coming from your headphones.
Yeah,
Slash speaker.
that speaker slash
Coming
with
from inside your iTunes.
Slash audio.
We're in your ears. So if we're inside your ears for the first time, that sounded weird. This is your first time here in the Crazy Train, you've enjoyed what you've heard, then you can subscribe on iTunes. You can find us on Podbean, Podchaser, other things.
Podbum, I don't know what they're called.
Libsyn, Feedburner, iTunes, YouTube. We are fucking
Stitcher.
it.
No,
Fucking
I was saying,
Stitcher.
I thought it was fuck
Stitcher's on
Stitcher.
there. Yeah, Stitcher's still on there. But who gives a shit?
Zune.
Zune, yeah, probably still on Zune. I've not checked. I haven't got a Windows Phone anymore. That's the thing. I've got the Microsoft launcher, so it looks the fucking same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but apart from that, anyway, that's a sidetrack. Crazy here. That's what we do.
Can't even sign off.
Crazy here. Can't even outro. So you can find us on the web. Social media wise, Emotionally 14 is available on Twitter at Emotionally 14. Facebook has a page, Emotionally 14. YouTube, Emotionally 14. iTunes, Emotionally 14. And emotionally14.com. Guys, what about you individually?
You can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator.
So glad that's a
find
thing.
me on Facebook if you can find me.
Maybe you can hire the Blake team.
And probably should change my Twitter handle, but it's at fucksake Blake.
No. If it's good enough for... this is the other thing that annoys me about it, is if it's good enough for Twitter's terms of service to have as your display name, it should be good enough to put in a fucking Facebook ad. Get your shit together, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Spike, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at BigBeat1985 or just searching Spike Direction.
Yes.
And on Instagram at Spike Direction.
Nice. Okay. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision, and you can find the other stuff I do that's not Emotionally 14 at talkstarwars.co.uk. But anyway, so there's a couple of other bits since last time. So you can now buy Emotionally 14 t-shirts on tpublic.com
Oh shit, we should have
/stores/Emotionally 14. You can also buy things through our Amazon widget. So that's on the website. You can go to Amazon via us. It doesn't cost you any extra, and we get a few pennies kicked back to us as a way of saying thank you for the referral. Otherwise, the other ways to, if you enjoy what we do, the other ways to put it out there is just share it on social media. You'd be amazed how much engagement we get just from people liking something, putting it on their Facebook saying, I liked this episode, it's a funny episode, made me cry with laughter, Gods Among Men, Kings of the Wild Frontier, all that sort of stuff.
Beautiful faces.
Beautiful
Powerful
faces.
haunches.
Faces for
You
radio.
can give us constructive feedback as well, you know.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
You know,
Ask
you can just
questions.
say blasphemy.
Blasphemy. You. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I think that is it for the outro.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.